I am super duper excited about this wealth doodle. This is a concept that I have taught for years and I live by it. I can recognize which circle I am in very, very quickly, and I can make sure that I'm in the circle that I desire to be in. So make sure your volume is up. Give me hashtag live, hashtag replay. I am super excited to teach this to you if you have not heard me teach about this before, or maybe you need a refresher. This can impact every aspect of your life and your business, and it's totally transferable very quickly. Knowledge is power. Awareness is power. Action is power. And all humans desire freedom, I think. Financial freedom, emotional freedom, time freedom, and every other type of freedom that is out there. And we do have a lot of power in that. And so I'm so excited to chat about these two circles with you. So shout out to Jennifer Courtwright with the Courtwright Group, which is today's Doodle sponsor. She and her team are a powerhouse team in the amazing Marysville, Ohio location. If you are thinking about buying or selling your home and you live near or in Marysville, they are definitely the go-to experts and can help you with the biggest decision, one of the biggest decisions of your life. And they are without a doubt in this circle for sure. So what are these circles? Okay, so these two circles are happening a lot in everyone's lives. The goal, however, is that when we recognize that we're in this one, we choose into the one on the right. So let me explain what they are. So I call this the frustration loop, okay? Typically, and you could replace it with frustration or anger or stuckness, like any emotion or feeling or experience that does not that you don't want to stay there, right? So, okay, hold on one second. So typically those types of frustrations or energies or emotions, etc., they start off really small, right? And then if we're not aware, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's almost like it literally looks like a spiral that can be like really trippy, right? And they just keep morphing. And everything adds on top of the next one, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, heavier and heavier and heavier. And the longer you stay in the frustration loop, it is harder to come over here. It really, really is. A lot of people stay stuck. So people that are like, oh, I'm really interested in the online space and making money. I'm really interested, but, right? They keep watching, and it just gets heavier and heavier and heavier. And you sell yourself on staying over here. And it doesn't have to be with coming on the online space. Making money online is not for everyone. It's available to everyone, but it isn't for everyone, because if it were for everyone, then everyone would be doing it. But it is available for those that do want it. And so when you want it and you're staying in that loop, then you are in the frustration loop. Now, if you're like, I don't need extra money, or I don't want to make money online, I don't want to be online, then you're making an empowered decision. It's a whole different ballgame. So again, this goes with anything. Maybe you are in a frustration loop about your parenting or your home or a certain relationship or your day job or your money management. Like, it just loops and loops and loops and loops and loops, and it gets heavier and heavier and heavier and harder and harder and harder to make the change that we need. Okay, hold on one second, honey. So that's the frustration loop. No human deserves to stay here. No human deserves to stay here. What we want is the success circle, the success loop. Now, with that being said, and this can be like the happy loop, the joy loop. Like, again, you can insert whatever positive feeling, emotion, experience that you want. Typically, anything related to that, it also starts small. So here's the exciting part. Like maybe you make $1 online. Oh my gosh, I made $1 online. Then you make $10. Then you make $20. Then you make $1,000 a month. Then you make your first $100,000, right? And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I can understand what this looks like, and it's not meaning to, and I apologize. But it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's what we do want. So that's the exciting part about this, is that it will start small over here, just like this did. However, when you keep going, you let it spiral, and that's a good thing, right? It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger and stronger. I love the saying, like, the longer you do something, the luckier you get. It's just because you're doing it longer. Like the first time you do a free throw in basketball, you're probably not going to be that good at it, but do a 1,000 and you're probably going to be a little bit better. So it's like practice does make better. Patience does yield results. Discipline yields success. Focusing, never giving up, wanting to be better, looking for options to be better. Like there is so much available to us that sometimes I think we forget because we're so stuck over here. I like to call this like the upside down. If you ever watch Stranger Things, like the frustration loop is the upside down, and you can't even hear the other side. But the reason why I love this visual aid, again, I can understand what it looks like when I zoom out. Anywho, I love this visual aid because if you do feel like you're over here with anything, I want you to see that there is another side, that there is light at the end of the tunnel, that there is hope. There is success waiting for you. There is joy waiting for you. It will still start small, but when you see this visual, you know, with focus, with intention, with love, with support, with determination, it will get bigger and bigger and bigger. I have seen this time and time again in my life, my career, people I've worked with, people I call friends, loved ones. Like I can witness it. I see it. I live vicariously through people when I see the little start, because I'm like, keep going. That's typically what I always say, because I know, I see it. I'm in a different chapter and I know what's waiting for them the more that they stay over here, and it's like a tornado and it just keeps going and going and going and that's what we want. That's what we want. Now, here's the beautiful part. Sometimes in life, punches us in the face, and for a second, we jump over here. But when you have so much awareness, again, it starts small, that at any point, you can choose again. And then you're not starting from ground zero, you just pick back up where you left off, and then we keep going. So that's also hope too, because I've had points of my life in my career where, boom, I was over here for a second, but since I'm so self-aware, I'm like, okay, take a deep breath, release, and you know what to do. Take a deep breath and go back, right? Like go back. So there's a big difference between when you don't know you're over here, right? And you stay over here and you stay over here and you stay over here expecting change, or complaining that things aren't happening, but you're still over here and you're not making strides to come over here. So like, again, as long as you're always making empowered, aligned decisions for yourself that feel amazing, no matter what everyone else is doing, you're not in the frustration loop. If you have all the energy in the world and you love your body and you're happy with your nutrition and, things are going how you want, no matter what anyone else would say, you're over here. You're winning it. You're crushing it. You're feeling amazing. Now, there was a point in my journey where I was in the frustration loop with my health and fitness, and I was not fully admitting it to myself. So I was over here and I was so stuck. Oh my gosh, I can see it. Now looking back, I can see how I was in the frustration loop, and I was choosing, even though I didn't know it, I was choosing to stay there. And so when I finally broke free, man, did it get juicy. Did it get good? And again, this is transferable to to anything and everything, big and small. And it's just so liberating. It's so powerful. Once you know this, you can't unknow it. And so I always ask myself, truly, everything that I preach, I really strive to practice. And so I will ask myself, and sometimes I'll even say to myself, I feel like I'm in the frustration loop. And I can literally see this drawing in my head. How big does it feel? Right? Because that is helpful to know. If it feels really big and I've been there for a while, I know it's going to take time. If it's like within the day and I feel like I'm in the frustration loop, or even an hour, I can move really quickly. I can shift very quickly. So you want to go to sleep? Okay. So this awareness is massive. It's so massive. It's so powerful. I hope that this serves and supports you. Thank you for being giving me some grace on my drawing here, but I think visual aids are really, really powerful. And I'm just really excited for you to experience more life over here. We as humans are meant to be over here more. Now, to say that we're always going to be over here is not true, but we are meant to feel and enjoy our life as much as possible, okay? So I'm going to go be mom. Are you telling good night? No? Okay. So a great question that you can ask yourself is, where do I feel like I'm in the success loop? And where do I feel like I'm in the frustration loop when it comes to my life and or business? So, okay, I've got a grumpy little baby. Are you in the frustration loop? Okay, let's go get you in the success loop.